What's up guys, it's CJ from smartkti.com. In this video we're going to take a look at the HTC EVO 3D's camera features and settings. We'll cover both standard and 3D picture taking and video capture capabilities, and we'll even upload some sample videos and photos later on. So first off, if you've never seen the back of an EVO 3D before, then you may be wondering what the heck is going on back here. Well, what you're looking at are two 5 megapixel side-by-side cameras, which is how you're able to take 3D photos and videos. And all that 3D content is actually visible right on the device's 4.3-inch glasses-free 3D display. So that means no funky glasses and no having to hook it up to a separate 3D TV just to view what you've been able to capture in 3D. Of course, if you prefer to take traditional photos, you can do that as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at the camera features. Okay, we'll start with the exterior, or the hardware. So let's zoom in on the two cameras, each 5 megapixels. And you can record in up to 720p HD video. You can also see the dual LED flash in the middle. Let's go ahead and pan over to the side. We have these two hardware keys. So you actually have a switch to flip between 2D and 3D modes while you have the camera application loaded up. It's a very convenient feature because you don't have to dig into menus just to switch between 2D and 3D. You can just do it on the fly and then snap your photo. And then over here, you have a dedicated camera shutter key, and you can see it's a very large circular camera shutter key, full-sized. You don't have to fumble around with a very narrow, tiny bar like you do on some other phones. This one has a full-size button. It's very finger-friendly, and it's a two-step shutter key, so you press halfway down to focus, and then you press all the way down to take the shot. It's very cool there. Let's go ahead and turn the device on, and I'll launch the camera application right from the lock screen. And we actually covered this new lock screen in a previous video, so be sure to check that out if you haven't yet. So here is the camera application. Let's go ahead and bring in the subject here. This is a granola bar. And we'll start over on the left. Here we have a zoom bar, so we can zoom in using the screen, or you can actually use your volume rocker as well. Then down here we have a thumbnail of the previous image that I took, so we can tap on that to pull up that image and the gallery. We'll show you that a little bit later on. So let's go ahead and move over to the right. Right now we're in 2D mode. I'll show you 3D mode in a little bit. Let's go through the features of 2D first. So here we have our button to flip between camera and camcorder modes. We'll show you that a little bit later on as well. And then the button below that flips to your front-facing camera. So you can see my fingers there. Let's jump back out. And then right in the middle you have a virtual shutter key. I'll go ahead and demo that real quick. I guess the flash is on or set to auto. Then you can review and delete or share. Yeah, here's your flash option, so you can turn it on, off, or set to auto. So if, like I was saying, there's a virtual shutter button, or you can use the dedicated key up top. So it's always nice to have options. Now down here, we have some special effects. So you have distortion. It's kind of weird. There are just many options. Depth of field, dots is kind of cool. Vintage, vintage warm, vintage cold, grayscale, sepia, negative, solarize, posterize. One of these sort of like the Predator makes everything sort of glow, like you're noticing the heat signature or something. Aqua. And we'll go back to no effect. Now if you press the menu key, you get your settings. So we have self-timer, image adjustments, so we can change the exposure, contrast, saturation, sharpness. We have our white balance, auto, incandescent, fluorescent, daylight, cloudy. Change the ISO. Resolution, right now it's set to 5 megapixels. You can change it to 3 megapixels, 1 megapixel, and small. And then you can change your review duration, and then enable or disable widescreen mode, geotag photos, auto enhance, autofocus, face detection, shutter sound, and grid. So those are your 2D camera settings. So we already took a picture in 2D. Let's go ahead and flip the 3D switch. So it's going to activate 3D, and there you go, bam, it's in 3D mode. Now you guys can't see this, but when I'm looking through the screen right now, I can see it in 3D already. So even before I take the shot, you can already see clearly in 3D, and it looks really, really cool. It's like sort of like looking through the screen right at the object. So it really brings it to life. Some people call it a gimmick. I actually like the effect it offers, and since you can look at it on the display itself, it's actually a really cool feature to have. So let's go ahead and take the picture in 3D. Bam, there we go. So like I said, you can't see the picture, but it really pops out and looks really, really nice. It's hard to explain. You'll have to see it in first person to judge for yourself. So let's check out some 3D options. Some of them are the same. You can see that we can change file format from MPO to JPS. Now we'll pull up that photo that we took. Now another way to describe it is sometimes things will appear to float out of the screen, but more often than not, it looks more like you're looking deeply into the device, if that makes sense. So you get added depth, like it's sort of the image is pulled out and you can see the different layers. So let's go ahead and tap on the screen. The cool feature here, you see it says 3D up here. If you tap on that, you can actually flip to 2D mode. So you can convert your 3D pictures to 2D. So just because you took a picture in 3D doesn't mean you're stuck with that. You can actually change it to 2D and then share that photo if you need to. So that's definitely awesome that they allowed that feature. Then you can flip back to 3D, back to 2D again. Now one thing I should note, so when you convert from 3D to 2D, you can see the resolution is reduced 1920 by 1080. If we go to that picture that I took in only 2D mode at full resolution, you'll see that it has 5 megapixels. But still, it's awesome that you're able to convert the two pictures. So you can see some pictures that I took. This one's in 2D, and this one's actually in 3D if I flip the switch. So let's actually tap on the screen again and see what other options we have. So we can jump into the gallery. Just a quick look at that for those of you who are curious about it. You have some other editing options. You can save as 2D, adjust 3D alignment, crop, rotate, and then we have some effects. Now these are different from the special effects you have while you're taking the picture. So here we have auto enhance, cinnamon, high contrast, sepia, overexposed, glimmer, twilight, lively, warm, cold. Just a number of options, bleak, vintage, antique. So some features for those of you who like to tweak images. So we can also share to various social network outlets. I don't know if you guys saw that. So Dropbox, I have Dropbox installed, so it recognizes that. Facebook, Flickr, Gmail, Mail, text messages, Picasa, Twitter. Let's go back to the camera, and we'll flip to the 3D camcorder. So same thing with the pictures, you can take 3D video, and it actually looks really, really nice. You have to look directly at the device. So the angles are sort of weak. You can't really tilt the device and look at it. You have to look right on it. Otherwise the 3D sort of offsets and it gets all blurry. Probably won't be able to see this, but you can sort of see it flicker around. Go ahead and stop that recording. And we'll go ahead and check out some video options here. So we can adjust our image, white balance, sort of the same things available to us in our picture options. But let's flip it back to 2D. You can see we can record up to 720p HD, QHD, high, low, MMS, and so on. Then we can enable or disable stereo recording, record with audio, and then shutter sound. And then we have those special effects, just like with the regular camera. Let's see if I can find, here's a video I took earlier of a dog running towards the screen. Looks really cool in 3D because his head sort of pops out at you as he gets closer. And then, like I said, we can flip to 2D as well. So this was a detailed look at the dual 5-megapixel cameras on the HTC EVO 3D. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.